right, let's get into it. All right, so welcome to Run School Podcast. I'm Cameron Lynch here with a good friend of mine, Kel, from back home in Maryland. And we
Yes,
have a
sir.
new addition, John, my boy John.
How we doing, everybody?
Doing good. How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad that we got everything working here in the podcast studio. Look at this beautiful studio. We got the lights behind us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. But first topic. It's been on both of it. Everybody's been talking about it, the Pro Bowl, and how like the Pro Bowl has been declining. What are y'all thoughts on it? Who wants to start it first?
I mean, I guess I'll go. For me, when I look at the Pro Bowl, it's been a steady decline since maybe the early 2000s, when they kind of took away hitting and the ability to actually make plays during the Pro Bowl. It's not competitive at all. I mean, watching that, whatever they called a Pro Bowl, that flag football game, was the most depressing thing I think I've ever done as a football fan. And I've watched my team lose a Super Bowl. I've seen that happen. And yet somehow watching a bunch of grown men run around with flag football, flags on them, that was just a little bit too much for me. It's a little bit too much.
How did you feel about it, Kel?
I agree. I believe the Pro Bowl hit its peak around 2008.
Wow.
And after that, it was more so of a decline. I believe that once people were starting to let up, I remember they were tagging off at one point.
Yeah.
And once they started tagging off, the rushers weren't running, and then more so came like how many offensive points we could score. That's when I was like, all right, so it's no longer a game. And the only reason they started doing that was because the players were complaining.
Yeah.
We go here, we play in the Pro Bowl, but if we get hurt, what do we get out of it?
Exactly.
And at some point, it's just, do you protect your players, or is it more so like about the love of the game? Regardless if you get hurt, you know what you're doing playing the game.
Exactly. I think the main highlight that everybody's been playing is, of course, Sean Taylor making that hit on the punter during the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody wants to see. Everybody still wants to see that competitiveness and not just tagging the player. I understand y'all go through seasons with how many games in the season? About like
17 now?
Yeah.
Because there used to be 16, and then they got rid of one. They got rid of the fourth week of preseason out of an extra game. Yeah.
That's right. And so it's just, I understand bodies are beat up. Y'all want to save yourselves, enjoy y'all money and family. But at the same time, I'm paying to see some type of competitiveness. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's my take on it. That flag football, that was just, I didn't watch it.
It was entertaining. It was entertaining, though. I will say that. It was entertaining. You got to see, the one thing about it is you get to see all your favorite players' faces. Right? Basketball, you don't get to see it. Football is one of those sports where everyone's face is covered. You don't get to see it. And so you get to see your players run around. There's no pads, so you get to really see how athletic everyone is. One thing I think about is, what if what happened to Damar Hamlin happened during a Pro Bowl game?
That's actually a good question. That is actually a good question.
That
would be very crazy.
Because that really messes up someone's whole career, and it's just because they were talented enough and achieved enough in order to play in the Pro Bowl.
Exactly.
And then to have that achievement and then to go out there and put your life on the line for little to no money what you make in the regular season.
Yeah, that would.
I mean, you still get your Pro Bowl bonus. You still get to be out there, family and friends, but how much do you really get on risk?
I mean, honestly, what if something, if that Damar Hamlin thing were to actually, happen during a Pro Bowl, I think you would see the eradication of the Pro Bowl. I think that might be the final straw to where the Pro Bowl would just purely be a skills competition. You wouldn't have a game like a flag football or anything. It would just be skills. You would just see the passer or the passer, the dodgeball. They did that weird move the chain where they had to pull a bunch of plates off of a thing, and then that one really confused me because I like the passer one. I think that's fun, whatever. I think Geno Smith won it.
Yeah,
Geno Smith won it. I mean, first of all, he balled out this year, and he got the credit he deserves. He got the Pro Bowl. But man, I don't understand. You know, they're doing too much. I think when it comes to the things that they're doing during the Pro Bowl, those skills competitions. Like, it was fun to see the race. Like, they set up the obstacle course one of the years. That was fun to watch. But man, once you start getting into these weird, like, move the chains. Like, I remember I was watching Cam Hayward just pull like 4 50-pound plates off the thing and just toss it into a bucket. I'm like,
exactly.
What is this, the strongman competition or is this the NFL, bro? What is this?
Instead of the Pro Bowl football game, what if they made the Pro Bowl more so like a combine, where you got to see people's individual skill sets? Where for the Pro Bowl, we watched Tyreek Hill and a bunch of other players run to 40.
Like
or
they did.
Watch people do a bench, like some linemen do a bench press.
Yeah.
What if it was more so like that, just so we know what level of skill they're at right there in their career?
That's a good point.
I like that idea a lot, honestly.
But y'all remember last Pro Bowl where they had the race and it was Michael Parsons versus like the running backs, and so he just hawked them down and left some of them. I would like to see something like that. You know, I would definitely like to see something like that, like having your best defensive players versus your best offensive players in those type of situations. You know, break it down to like just that race. I mean, race, bench press, like you said. What's another good one?
I guess it would be 40 time. It would be bench press, probably a squat as well. Because I know that some of the running backs, like if you remember the quad father AJ Dillon, you know.
I thought Saquon Barkley was a quad.
No, he's not, bro. You've got to know. You've got to know about AJ Dillon, who had the moniker before Saquon, bro.
I'm not gonna hold you. Kel probably will side with Saquon because he's a Bears fan and he doesn't like any other teams in his conference. So, how you feel about that?
Say that one more time.
What, you know, AJ Dillon from the Green Bay Packers? He's called the Quad Father.
Yeah.
Would you give it to him or Saquon?
Saquon's
Quadzilla, bro. Saquon's Quadzilla.
AJ Dillon got drafted and they wanted to put him on the Chicago Bears. I would appreciate him on my team. But right now he's a Packer.
But y'all have...
I'm excited because, like, for once I'm about to be an Aaron Rodgers fan.
Whoa. So Aaron Rodgers, you're saying Aaron Rodgers is going to the Bears?
You heard it here first.
I'm saying Aaron Rodgers is leaving Green Bay, and whatever team he goes to, I get to be a fan of him finally.
Oh, I was about to say, that's crazy.
Also, wait.
It's not about the person. It's never about the person. It's about Green Bay.
Talking about Aaron Rodgers,
you're done.
Talking about Aaron Rodgers, though, did y'all see the news that came out about him? He said that he was going to do a darkness retreat where basically he's going to go into a cabin in the woods for 4 days in the complete, darkness in terms of like he's not going to have social media or anything like that. Yeah, and he's just gonna he's just gonna chill out there for 4 days, and he says, then after that, I'm gonna give you what my thoughts on where I'm gonna play next year.
That's absolutely crazy.
Know this man's about to take more MDMA and all these crazy things. He's about to be sitting there jerked out his mind, just like yeah.
But if that's what helps him throw the football when it come regular season, and that's what helps him throw the football come regular season, and this is coming from me being a Bears fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on retreats where you take your phone away and you kind of separate yourself from reality and change your perspective on life. And so that's what he needs to do in order to get his mind settled. Because I mean, he's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay go hand in hand. That's like saying Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, Cam Newton and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's hand in hand. When you think of Cam Newton, I don't think about the Patriots.
Not at all.
I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone does.
He was only there for like a couple.
I think about Superman.
Yeah.
So to bring it full circle, if he goes, he needs that. It's worth it.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it, especially if you need that to clear your mind. But he's definitely leaving.
Where do y'all see him going? That's the major question. Because there's the Raiders. Somebody threw it out there pretty crazy. The Jets. I mean, Zach Wilson isn't that great.
Falcons.
Colts. They're definitely rebuilding as well. Who else?
Tennessee Titans.
Over that rookie, you gotta give him some time to
Malik Wilson?
build. Yeah, Malik Wilson.
I think here's the thing. So, I'm a Steelers fan, so I know a lot about both Kenny Pickett and Malik Wilson because come draft day, that was really the only people that were on our board for the first round. And Malik Wilson, in terms of a quarterback, I don't think he quite has the arm in terms of, arm strength in terms of, 40, 50 plus yard passes. Right. But man, he looks dynamic if he's in like a slant packages when you have maybe like 4 wide receivers and a tight end setup. He looks good, especially on goal line. If you were watching him during that one preseason game, they goal line, he was perfect. He looked great. But when it came to open field, he didn't have the running dynamics of a Lamar Jackson. Yeah. And I think he can get there. I just don't know if Tennessee is really the best spot for him to grow. There's a lot of, I don't know. They've been stuck with Tannehill for a couple years now, a man who doesn't really move that much. He's much more of a pocket passer. And then your other backup is for them is Josh Dobbs, and I mean that man's an astrophysicist. That man is better at science than he is at playing football, and I'm going to tell you that much.
I mean, there's all these players. I'm like another player that we talk about a lot, and he's from the DMV area, Maryland to be exact. Is Marcus Allen, and just how like some of these players they get to the league, and it's just. All right, what do you do? I haven't seen you. Your name's still on the roster, but
he's still on the team and he's played. He gets on the field. Mm-hmm. He does get on the field. He gets on the field for the Steelers.
Yeah, and just like Dobson, he got on, but it's just, where does Aaron Rodgers go though? That's the main thing.
I believe he needs to go to a team with at least one dominant receiver in a run game.
I think he mentioned that.
Especially for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Leonard Fournette showed up when it was important. Playoff Lenny. He's going to give you those carries. He's going to give you those tough runs, and that takes the pressure off the quarterback. Russell Wilson, I think he's going up in age and he's losing athletic ability. And one thing that the Denver Broncos struggled in a little bit was their run game. And, if you're able to have that run game and you're able to set at least a pace for the offense in order to open up, whether you use the play action to open up the offense for you, you're able to spread the ball. You're able to hit the edge a little bit more and you get the defensive ends on their toes a little bit more and having to guess a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier on the quarterback, and Tom Brady was able to use it well. Drew Brees used it well. That's why he was a big fan of Mark Ingram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at this point,
wherever Aaron Rodgers goes, he needs a running back because that's what he used with the Green Bay this year. 2 running backs.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, at this point, when I look at the teams that are potential suitors for Aaron Rodgers, not only am I not impressed, but I'm a little bit like, should he really move at this point? Like, I understand you hate Green Bay, and there's some reasons behind that, coaching reasons, not seeing eye to eye, all that kind of stuff. But like when you look at the teams like the Falcons,
yeah,
bro, I can name one player on that. Actually, 2 players. I can name Young Hoku, the kicker, and I can name Pitts, the tight end.
Well, that's disrespectful.
And Marcus Mariota.
Well, okay, so we're just going. What about Cordell Patterson? Cordell Patterson.
Bro, I haven't heard Cordell Patterson's name be called for an actual play in like 3 years, bro.
But Cordell Patterson was like the do-it-all guy for the Falcons.
He was the do-it-all guy for like.
I will have to agree with you, Cam. Cordell Patterson was the scoring for the Falcons for a little bit.
Yeah.
This year he didn't have to do it as much, but he was still the guy. They had a rookie coming, a rookie receiver. Mm-hmm. I don't want to mess up his name. I don't want to say Drake.
I believe it was Drake London.
Yeah, Drake London. Yeah.
Drake London. All right,
Drake London.
I was correct. Drake London. I mean, sometimes you just have to have a bad season to pick up a good player. The Redskins had a terrible season. What did they get? Chase Young. My Bears have a bad season a few seasons in a row. Now we get Justin Fields, and now we have a first round draft pick. So I mean, if you throw Aaron Rodgers onto the Falcons, you have Drake out there, you have Cordero Patterson. Is it a Super Bowl winning team? No, but they can make the playoffs with what they got.
They could. They could. I mean, if you think about it,
they need to work on their defense. If they're going to add a weapon like Aaron Rodgers on offense, you have to up your defense. Their defense looked really uninspired this year.
So what team?
And honestly, if I'm picking a team, I'm looking at them. I can't lie to you. I kind of like the Colts.
The Colts.
You got Jonathan Taylor. Boom. There's your big running back. Wide receiver wise. Why am I blanking on his name?
I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm thinking of.
I know who you're talking about. Is
Zach Pascal.
No, not Zach Pascal. It's the one we always talk about from the Colts in like the previous videos, and we just Michael. No, it's not him.
Oh my god, this is gonna kill me because it's Colts wide receivers.
Yeah,
Michael Pittman Jr.
I was close.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah, so Pittman. So you got Pittman Jr. You've got Jonathan Taylor. You've got honestly a pretty decent offensive line, all things considered. And then what? The defense honestly played pretty all right some points during the season. Did they fall apart? Yeah. But what a change in defensive coordinator can fix that. And you're going to pick up some other guys in the offseason. But imagine Aaron Rodgers, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr. You also got Paris Campbell on there. I mean, that's a pretty good that's a pretty good group right there, in my opinion.
And then you can't forget about Jeff Saturday. If they continue with him, I mean, he was a former Colt, won a couple of Super Bowls, played with Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison. So it's up in the air. To be honest with you, it's really up in the air.
Yeah,
I like it. My only thing is that Colts team where Jonathan Taylor carried the run game. What was that? 2021 going into 2022.
Yeah,
so last season, not this season, but last season.
Yeah.
That was spectacular. We're like, Jonathan Taylor. Who's Jonathan Taylor? Touchdown.
Yeah.
After that season, they broke up the coaching staff. The coaching staff has split up. You still have a couple of the same pieces, one mainly being Jonathan Taylor, but the offensive line isn't moving the same. It's a different defense. So you don't got that same fire. You don't have the same energy that was put into that team. That culture that was there is a different culture now. And so they have the pieces, but it's still a lot to build. I'd say if it were to be a big move, it'd be like Aaron Rodgers to the Cowboys. That's get rid of Dak, let Dak. Like Aaron Rodgers on the Cowboys would be a lot. Like if that could happen, that would be.
I'm not gonna lie. That's actually pretty crazy, but at the same time, I kind of picture it.
I honestly wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it past Jerry Jones though. I wouldn't put it past Jerry Jones to go, hey, I want him on my team, and I'm gonna pay not only an exorbitant amount of money to him for him to come here. I'm gonna pay the league an exorbitant amount of money to make sure that it happens.
Yeah. And you give them Dak, you give them who's the new running? Well, no, you give them Zeke and you give them like a wide receiver and some corners.
He has CeeDee Lamb. There is another wide receiver. I forgot his name, but it's another.
Got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
you can turn that into something and keep the defense to the defense. If you can get Aaron
Michael
Rodgers and keep your defense to the defense, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but definitely, that'd be crazy if they could have both of them. That'd be really crazy. But something else.
That is such a crazy lineup. I'm looking at it right now. Aaron Rodgers with Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, that O-line. Oh, my God. You got DeMarcus Lawrence. You've got Jonathan Hankins. I mean, that would be a dirty team putting Aaron Rodgers on. they might even win a Super Bowl. They might make it past.
Definitely.
They might make it past the gosh darn second round at that point.
Definitely,
Right?
that's a Super Bowl
Now,
team. But say Aaron Rodgers goes to the Raiders, has a reunion with Devontae Adams. How do y'all feel?
I love it, but it's more so that's a front office issue with the Raiders. Like that's a culture issue.
Yeah.
That's not a player. That's not a locker room thing. I think that's more so like
How-
front office who's calling the shots issue.
Okay.
Because I don't think as far as like
Yeah.
coaching staff who's calling the plays. I don't think that aspect of the team is good. Like they have all the pieces. They have individual pieces that are superstars.
Yeah.
Like you have the number one receiver in your locker room. You have great defensive players. You need a quarterback. You have a quarterback, but the quarterback you have, you could trade it away for some solid players.
Really could. And speaking of that quarterback, I hope he goes to the Panthers because we're in dire need of a quarterback, to be honest with you.
Derek Carr.
What about Aaron Rodgers on the 49ers?
Oh, okay.
That one just doesn't make sense. That
They don't have
I can
quarterback.
understand. I can understand
have
the
a
Cowboys
run.
one.
Yeah.
That's region. They have 3 quarterbacks in that room that could be a potential starter, but that's mostly because of their coaching staff. Their coaching staff over in the Bay Area is so good that they made Mr. Irrelevant relevant. They made Trey Lance look amazing. Well, he already looked amazing, but they made Trey Lance look better in the times that we saw him. And they somehow turned Jimmy Garoppolo into a Super Bowl quarterback. And trust me, I watched that man play in New England when Tom Brady was out. That man looked like buns. How did they do that? That man won 2 rings sitting on the bench. And then he went over to the 49ers and said, hey, I'm a competent quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's Jimmy G. I root
One
for
last
Jimmy G.
team.
What would you say, Kel?
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying real quick that I still root for Jimmy G. I hope he can get that, monkey off his back and be able to, win a Super Bowl. But go ahead, Kel.
2 last teams that I think Aaron Rodgers could be a cool fit for is the Redskins. I mean, excuse me, the Commanders.
Right.
They have a defense. They have offensive weapons.
Yes, they do.
They have a great head coach.
Former that coach came from Carolina. I don't know why we didn't keep him. And their defense is crazy. Like you said, offensive weapon was in the Pro Bowl, so we know he's a solid player.
Man, I'm just looking at the quarterback depth chart of the Commanders right now. Their quarterback depth chart goes Taylor Heineke, stud.
Yes.
Carson Wentz, dud.
Yep.
Sam Howell.
Done. Whoa. I'm sorry.
He said dud.
I'm a fan of Sam Howell. I'm a big UNC fan. I think he did a great job at UNC, but I think he needed more time at UNC.
I think he just needs more time in
he's more
general.
so a player that's going to grow into his position. He's a player that's definitely going to make teams because I know he's a hard worker, but you never know with him.
And then you got Jake Fromm on the 4th. Jake Fromm. Can you please tell me the last time you heard Jake Fromm's name other than draft day and maybe a couple weeks into preseason?
That's the only time. I didn't even know Jake Fromm was still in the league. That's actually crazy.
And that's so insane to me because he was drafted he was Georgia, right? He was the Georgia kid.
I believe so. And Kel still thought he was in college.
I thought he was still at Georgia.
he lost his job to Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett is
that's what I was
good.
like. All right, we got a new QB over there, but he did go to the league. He is a commander.
He's just a commander.
I mean, think about it. That's just the competition of the league at the moment. We got a lot of good QBs running around.
Pretty much.
A lot of average QBs too.
Yeah.
And a lot of poo-poo doo-doo QBs too. I mean, there's some people in this league that I'm surprised that are on an NFL roster. And
for sure.
Man, when I look at the quarterback depth chart of some teams, the Steelers, and I see that there's somebody named Mason Rudolph that's still on our team, makes me want to cry, man. That man got hit with a helmet and never recovered. Never recovered from Myles Garrett. And let me tell you this much.
Since we're on this topic, I saw a YouTube video, and the question was, if you could redo anyone's career, whose career would it be?
Ooh.
You could redo their career as far as in stats, team they played on, place they got drafted. It's really up to you. But if you could redo anyone's career, who would it be?
That's solid. That's a solid question. That's a solid question. You got yours, Kel?
Football specific.
Do you have one?
Do I have one specifically?
Yeah, for the NFL.
For NFL?
Damn. That's a damn good question.
It's really RG3. RG3 and his knee.
Oh, that's solid. That is actually solid.
That's a great pick.
Where would you rather see him go?
Recommend him go?
Yeah.
Somewhere that would have took care of him. Like, I don't know, maybe the Ravens. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe the Ravens, maybe the Patriots. Like, I would have rather him been a backup for Tom Brady, and then eventually he would have been Jimmy Garoppolo and went to the 49ers.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm, like, something like that.
I have.
Another player is Khalil Mack, but I only want to do it from the time that we traded him away from the Bears.
Yeah.
I wish we never sent him to the Chargers to deal with the crap he got to deal with now. I wish he could have still been with us to enjoy the fruits of his labor from the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But those are my two.
I've got a couple, but the one I'm gonna throw out there right now, Teddy B. Teddy Bridgewater, after he tore his ACL, he was never the same. Imagine Teddy Bridgewater never tears his ACL.
Yeah.
That team, is still playing hot. Like they could have. I believe that they could have won a Super Bowl with Teddy B if he was healthy and he kept himself. It's kind of the same thing when you look at Devin Bush. When you look, he tears his ACL, he's not the same player. Teddy Bridgewater never was the same player after he tore his ACL. Honestly, I would have loved to have seen him, just like actually get a shot, because when he was out there, he was cooking. He looked amazing.
Yeah, he did.
And man, because I'm trying to think, it was Teddy Bridgewater and one other guy that they got from that same draft that were superstars, and man, him and of course Sean Taylor. That's another one that I feel like almost every NFL fan is going to say Sean Taylor, because taken too soon.
I said Sean Taylor in my head, but I was like, I might as well just not say it because it's already understood.
Yeah, no, that's it's understood. I mean, he was Sean Taylor. When you talk about legacy,
yes,
it is what comes to mind when you hear his name. You think of 21. You think of the colors that he wore, and it's just gone too soon. I mean, it's the same. It's another person I was going to throw out there was now I feel like an idiot because I forgot his name.
Man.
His the person who turned down the player that turned down the contract to go fight in the war. Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman's another one as well. Because he looked amazing, and then he said, "I'm going to go fight for my country."
Yeah. Oh, he could hit. I saw his Arizona State highlights. Yeah, he could hit. He could definitely
built differently.
Yeah, but
you got any, Ken?
Boy, do I have them. First,
because there's so many, bro. There's so many.
I don't know. This one may be kind of controversial, but for me, it's Bob Sanders.
Ooh.
Damn.
Bob Sanders. He was okay. He was a solid safety. Short, 5'9". A lot of teams, they want 6 foot above, lanky. But he was quick. He could cover ground. He gave his body up. Like, he was, boom, laying hits left and right. But he had a short career. And I don't know if that's him and what the Colts wanted, or if it's, like the Colts, all right, we want you to keep doing that. Bob Sanders like, man, I'm tired, I'm beat. What if he went to, say, like, a Steelers? or he goes to the Oakland, or I don't know, goes to Denver. Who knows?
Goes to a team that actually takes care of their players.
Yeah. Yeah. But what's another one for me? Another one is Kevin White. Kevin White. He went to the league, and
I like Kevin White.
Yeah, because he was a Bear. He was a Chicago Bear, but I think he had multiple knee injuries, and it's just like you never heard from him.
Honestly, knee injuries nowadays, especially in the NFL, I mean, I don't think they're quite as devastating as they used to be, just because of the advancement of medical science.
Yeah.
But when you see someone take a knee injury, you look at them and you say, that might be the last time we see them like that. And it's one of the reasons why I was so scared for Saquon when he tore his ACL. Because you can see those guys and then they come back. And honestly, we saw it for a couple. I think it was like, half a season. He wasn't quite there. He didn't look great. And deep down inside, I was like, that's it for Saquon. I was like, that's it. The ACL ruined him. There's nothing you can do at that point. But, man, I don't know what happened, what clicked with him, or, what other type of physical therapy he was doing. Yeah. Because he looked just like rookie year Saquon again. He looked like rookie year Saquon this year. Danny Dimes took a step forward. I mean, that Giants team with Dabble, Mr. The Bowl, look really good. Yeah. But yeah, like that's the thing. Knee injuries are terrifying, and I think that the NFL is not putting enough emphasis on them. They've always been putting emphasis on the head and CTE and concussions, but I feel like if they were to take even 10-20% of what they're doing for hits to the head and started doing that for knee injuries and trying to maybe prevent people from, they chop blocks and stuff like that are illegal, but you still see people going low and hitting helmets to knees. That destroys people. If they just put 10%, they would. I think they would bring down those types of injuries probably 50 or 60%. You wouldn't see people get hurt like that anymore.
I got one more before we go on to our next topic. It's probably crazy.
I had to sneak in.
Oh, you got to. Okay, all right. Just real quick before we go to our next topic. Odell Beckham Jr. What if he didn't go to the Giants? What if he didn't go there?
Antonio Brown. What if he didn't go insane?
That's a whole other category. That's a whole other category for a whole other podcast. But I'm just saying, what if Odell didn't go to the Giants? What if Odell went to, I don't know, say he went to New England? Or what if he
went to New England, he still becomes Odell, but without that catch in the playoffs with the Giants, I don't know if he still has that story. With the Patriots, he still has a chance to have that story because he's with Tom Brady.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know.
So what are your two?
Golly.
Yeah.
My two?
Yeah.
Ricky Williams, Michael Vick.
Ricky Williams, bro.
I like the Michael Vick one.
No, I like the Michael Vick one too, but bro, Ricky Williams, that just hit me a little bit.
God,
I love Ricky Williams, bro.
Oh my God.
That Wildcat offense.
And I wasn't even old enough to watch him play for real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think none of us were.
He just stopped.
Another topic for next podcast. Players from the older generation that you wish you could see play in this generation and the teams, would you change their position as well? Would you say, like I was saying, Bob Sanders, would you keep him at safety or shift him to corner? We saw Bob Sanders, but a little bit older. Let's say Deion Sanders, switch him from corner or keep him on special teams. Something like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. It's like
I like that.
It's like imagine pulling anybody from the the 4 Super Bowl Steelers. Think about pulling Mel Blount or Jack Ham. Imagine pulling one of those guys. Mm-hmm. First of all, Jack Ham, he would kill every single person on the offense before the ball goes a yard down the field. That man was mean.
Yeah. Imagine Joe Namath in this era and still having Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Imagine that. Steve Young, Joe Montana. You throw those guys in the mix. Would they be a starter? Say like Joe Montana, Tom Brady, same team. Who's the one and who's the two?
Oh, well, that depends.
Joe Montana and Tom Brady, same team. Who's the one? Who's the two?
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Brady's the one.
Ooh.
I think actually, you know what? I agree with that. I think Tom Brady's the one, but that's only because of the offense the differences in the offensive that played. Mm-hmm. When you look at football from the 70s, it was pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock, and if they threw, it looked like they threw like a Super Ball, like one of those really inflated balls. They just kind of tossed it up and hoped for the best.
Pretty much.
I mean, I guess with Montana. I mean, I'm sorry, he don't compare to Tom Brady. Montana may have 4 Super Bowls. Yeah. You know who else has 4 Super Bowls? Terry Bradshaw, and he's never put in the same exact category as Montana or Brady. And be even better yet, Brady in every statistical category is a better quarterback. He will be a better quarterback. Even if he played back then, he would have been a better quarterback.
Oh, that's deep. But we're gonna save that topic for the next podcast before we get too deep in that topic and it's like, oh damn, like what happened to our other topics?
Can I sneak one more in?
All right,
let's hear it.
Because it's relevant. Yeah, we could wait for tomorrow. We could wait till the next one to speak about it.
Yeah.
But who's the one? Who's the two? And who's the three?
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts. Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick. Who's the starter? Who's the backup? Who's practice squad?
Ooh. Michael Vick can run. Donovan McNabb was kind of a runner, but he wasn't as elusive as Michael Vick. Both of them have arms. Jalen Hurts, I believe, is strong and can take a hit. Because there was videos of him in high school being in powerlifting competitions and him squatting almost like running back or offensive lineman numbers, to be honest with you. But that is a solid question right there.
I know the answer.
What do you have?
Well, let's think about like a start bench cut, right? Start bench cut.
Yeah.
I'm starting Vic.
You're starting
I'm
Vic?
starting Vic 100%. He's Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson. There was no Lamar Jackson. It was just Vic. You pulled a Vic. There was no pulling a Lamar Jackson.
Everybody wanted Michael Vick's cleats as soon as they came out.
Exactly. Michael Vick, there was no other Michael Vick. And quite honestly, people were saying, oh, well, Lamar Jackson's the next Michael Vick. No, he isn't. Michael Vick's the only Michael Vick. Yes. Let other players be. Let players be. Don't try to be another player. Don't go into the league and say, I'm going to be the next Michael Vick. Say, I'm going to be the first, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Say that you're going to be the first of yourself.
Yeah.
Who am I benching? Donovan McNabb. I'm calling Jalen Hurts, which is crazy to think right now, right? When you look at the way he's played.
Yeah.
Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick are better than Jalen Hurts.
Oh, yes.
100%. Sure. So I'm cutting Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that he's a horrible player. I have seen more tape on Michael Vick and Donovan McNabb than I have seen on Jalen Hurts.
Really much.
And the good in terms of good, video. I mean, it's outweighed. I'm starting Vick. I'm benching McNabb, and I'm cutting Jalen Hurts.
Me personally, I'm going to start Vick. I'm going to bench Hurts, and I'm gonna cut McNabb. And
God damn!
I'm gonna cut McNabb. And I love McNabb, I do.
Yeah.
But I think about one, work ethic.
McNabb. Oh, whoa! McNabb had a pretty decent work ethic. He was there with T.O. And
he was there with T.O. But
who's that running back?
I also look at the fact that he's not in shape like the other two.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, neither was Big Ben. He won 2 Super Bowls.
How many Super Bowls
but
did
he was also
McNabb
running
win?
like a 5'5", 40.
Yeah, that's
To get out he was elusive, but he wasn't moving fast. He just couldn't be tackled.
yeah. Michael Vick. I mean, Michael Vick is fast, and even when he oh my God, when the NFL did the flag football, yes, and they had the teams, Michael Vick still out there, left hand, and just it's just like wow.
It's so crazy to me that he was a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah. For a short time, it was only like a
It
year.
was one season.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he beat the Chargers with Le'Veon. Le'Veon Bell technically won the game, but he led that game-winning drive. And my favorite thing about it was when Vic, after the game, they did the press conference.
Yeah.
He said, Ben Roethlisberger was in my ear, helping me the entire way. And when I said that I wanted to do something, he said, "Go for it." He said, "You know better than I do, dude. You've been in the league longer than me. I'm only here for moral support."
Yeah, and I mean, even Ben Roethlisberger, he would. I mean, there's times where offensive coordinator would tell him to do something. Ben Roethlisberger, freestyle. I'm doing this, and they're like, "Oh!"
And then it worked, and then they scored a touchdown, and the offensive coordinator is just like, "There goes my job."
Exactly. That's pretty crazy, but you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut McNabb, man.
That is crazy.
I have to.
That's the most depressing thing I've ever heard.
He said leadership skills.
I think
leadership skills.
I'd rather take Jalen Hurts and his ability to lead and control the locker room and his work ethic over Donovan McNabb.
Hey. I mean,
that's just the way it crumbles, bro.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
That's how cookie crumbles.
Yeah, but just how we had mentioned Tom Brady earlier. Tom Brady, Mr. Brady.
Mr. Brady retired.
Is he really retired? That's the question.
I hope so for a couple reasons. One, because, well, actually, now that I think about it, I was gonna say because he's already lost everyone else in his life. It doesn't really matter if he plays anymore. But what if he played this extra season just so he could get the divorce? What if that was the entire reason behind this season?
Now we going into conspiracy theories.
Bro,
about
it's
football.
not a conspiracy if it makes sense.
No.
Yeah, imagine he just played just to get through the divorce.
That is crazy.
Imagine you're not playing football. You're divorced. You're home. You're upset. Like you have nothing to do except watch TV. So it's like I might as well stay productive and do something.
Wow.
Because now, he has to officially retire because he already signed a deal for 2024 with Fox or NBC, or he already has a broadcasting deal. Like he's already set up. He's going to be broadcasting.
But hasn't it happened before? Well, I don't know if it's football, if it's basketball. Like you've seen players still play and then still do broadcasting. Isn't that possible? That's possible, right? You can still play and still.
Yeah, you can still play and broadcast. It's just rare. Like it's really rare, and it's a lot easier to do it in the NBA and the NHL and stuff like that because you're not playing every night. You're not playing every game day, right?
Yeah. Okay, I get what you, because football is
Sundays, one game on Monday, one game on Thursday.
Yeah. And
then the Saturday games, which they randomly do near the end of the year.
Right. Yeah.
You can't. Whenever his team is playing, you gotta play. And if they aren't playing, and it's like a Thursday game, you're at practice. You're not giving up the whole day to go,
write scripts.
To go write scripts and hang out with Tony Romo in the booth. You can't do that. Honestly, I think he's done. I think he's going to take this next year, and he's just going to basically build his brand, the Brady brand, or B12, I think, or TB12, right? Is the brand he has? Because did you see the picture he posted on Twitter?
No.
Basically, he posted a picture of him in his underwear.
Looked like a Calvin Klein model.
Yeah, he looked like a Calvin Klein model.
Oh my God! Well, I guess I don't know. It might be.
And then underneath it he goes shameless plug, buy my underwear.
Whoa.
Because he was wearing the TB12 boxer briefs.
Yeah. Oh man, I didn't see. I don't know if I really want to see a man in underwear, but I'm gonna just take your word for it. You know.
Are you taking the word for it? Seeing is believing.
No, that's crazy. that's really crazy. But what do you think about Brady? Do you think he's done, or do you think he'll go to another team or be a Buccaneer again?
I think he is going to take some time off. I'll give him about 3 months. And then around, I guess, that preseason time during the summer, he's going to, like, slide through facilities, just poke his head through, see what's going on. Because he's going to actually do this, like...
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say the podcaster, but the...
sport broadcaster.
Sport broadcaster.
Yeah.
He's going to be a sports broadcaster for a while. I give him about 4 to 5 months, and then he's going to start throwing the football.
What if him and Aaron Rodgers wind up in the same boat? Both of them, well, they kind of are. Both of them are, let's say, thinking about stepping away from the game for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which teams do you think are going to invest in Brady?
Any team that needs a spot. Any team that needs a quarterback. 100%.
So basically, like the same teams we have mentioned.
Jets,
before.
Colts, Falcons, Raiders.
Their situation's not going to change in a year.
Yeah. If you put Brady on any of those teams, you're immediately better. That's just a fact. If you put Brady on any of those teams that need a quarterback right now, they're immediately better than they were without him.
Absolutely.
He didn't look great this year. He had problems. I mean, mostly, I'm not gonna lie to you, his offensive line, I don't know what happened between the 2 years, but they looked terrible this year. And I think if he just got a little bit better protection, he can still slang it. He's still throwing 50-yard bombs, you know? He still has the arm to do it. He just needs support. And honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I hate the coaching staff of the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think that I don't know. Bruce Arians is
You don't like Bruce Arians?
He's an interesting character. He won a Super Bowl with the Steelers, and then he almost won a Super Bowl with the Cardinals back in 2009, and then he won the Super Bowl with the Steelers in 2009, and then
09 Cardinals.
The 09 Cardinals. Dude, the 09 Cardinals.
That's a Kurt Warner
Kurt
squad,
Warner,
right?
Larry Fitzgerald. God
Damn,
that team was good.
Adrian James, he wasn't on there.
What?
Who was the running back in 09?
Running back 09 Cardinals.
That's the year James Harrison had that 99-yard return, ain't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. It was in that Super Bowl, bro.
Ooh, I got a good memory.
The 2009.
Kid. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that would technically be the 08 Cardinals because it would be. Yeah, it was Edgerrin James was the. Oh my God, they had Edgerrin James, Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden. Oh my God.
Anquan Bolden.
They had Anquan Bolden too.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
That team was crazy.
He used to get busy with him. Madden.
Yeah, man, Anquan Bolden. Hey, Anquan Bolden could take a hit and deliver a hit as a wide receiver. I'll tell you that. But hold on.
Who else did they have? I'm trying to see on their defense.
Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, bro, they had Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
He was with the Jets.
DRC, baby.
Yeah. He was with the Jets too, with the Darrell Revis, the Island. Man.
Chike Okorafor, Travis LeBoy. Oh man, bro, what a team! What a team, dude. First of all, that might be in my opinion, that might be the scariest 4 names you might be able to say on a team from like 2000 to 2010. Kurt Warner, Edgerrin James, Anquan Bolden, Larry Fitzgerald.
That team.
Yeah. He said Kel had said he had.
Oh, what you got?
Ryan Urlacher.
Uh-huh.
Lance Briggs.
Yeah.
Matt Forte,
Yeah.
Devin Hester,
Yeah.
That actually
Brandon Marshall,
Brandon Marshall.
They
God
did.
damn, dude, he
Jay Cutler.
Jay.
They had a solid team.
Bro.
I'll tell you my favorite
And we
highlight of Matt
still couldn't
Forte.
win.
Yeah, my
We
favorite highlight
still
from Matt
couldn't win.
Forte was I think it was against the Buccaneers, and he made two Buccaneers defenders just were smacking to each other. I was like, oh man, he's tough.
Dude, honestly, I'm looking at the team. I'm going through like the different teams right now. When I look at like 09, I'm looking into 10. Dude, it's so crazy to me that the year after they went to the Super Bowl, Kurt Warner was gone, and it was Derek Anderson as their quarterback.
Ooh, you want to know another topic I just came up with for the next podcast?
What is it?
So we all have our favorite teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was your favorite year of that team? Your favorite year of that team. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because
Your
that's
favorite year watching the team?
Yeah, favorite year watching the team.
Damn,
like when they had
that's tough.
the players you had, and it's just like, oh man, I feel like we go to the Super Bowl, but it didn't happen. But it's just like you had fun watching that team that year. Like you tuned into like almost every game.
2015 Steelers, dude.
Yeah.
2015
I can say
Steelers.
that now. If y'all ready.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll
I
do
got
that
you.
now.
I'm saying, right? It's either going to be the 2008 Steelers won the Super Bowl. It's Antonio Holmes toe tap in the end zone, 100-yard return. Had some people that I can name off, like I can name off Willie Gay. I can name off Troy Polamalu, James Harrison, Brett Kiesel.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Alan Faneka. You had dogs on that team.
Yes.
And then I guess the team that was probably the most fun to watch was 2014, 2015. Because you had Brown, Bell, Martavius Bryant, Ben Roethlisberger, Marquise Pouncey. Man, who else was on that? Who was on that defense that year? We had a ton of people. I think Willie Gay was still there. William Gay needs to get some respect because he gets slapped around for no reason. Same with Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark is a dog.
Ryan Clark can hit, but he was a crazy hitter. Though.
He was a crazy hitter. I see people tweet him all the time with like a video of him like literally just taking someone's head off, and he just goes, "That wouldn't fly today."
It wouldn't. And it's like there was one hit he made. I think it was against a Baltimore running back. Willis McGahee?
Yeah, I literally just looked up Ryan Clark hits, and it says William McGahee brutal knockout hit by Ryan Clark, and it is the first thing that popped up.
He hit him, knocked him out, and then knocked himself out. I was like, God, bro, come on, like think about yourself and your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know you love the game, but at the same time, just let's calm down a little bit.
And the reason I say that team is because we made it to the AFC Championship. We lose to Brady, but that's because Brown's out, Bell's out, and Roethlisberger was left with like a shell of nothing. Like Martavius Bryant's still a phenomenal wide receiver. Just when you don't have Brown pulling two people, it's hard to get to other people. Oh my God, how could I forget Heath Miller as well, the great tight end? But that team, I say, should have won the Super Bowl that year. Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell should have a ring there. Ben gets his third. Because that was the 2015. That was the year that the Eagles? No, Eagles were 2018.
2015.
Because that was the Seahawks year. It was the year that the Malcolm Butler interception at the end zone.
Why'd you throw it instead of running?
Yeah, exactly. It was that year. I think that the Steelers could have beaten that team. Could have beaten that team. And that for me, that kind of marked almost the decline of the Killer Bees.
Yeah.
and they were never really the same to watch. I mean, they still put up numbers, but I don't know, they never surprised again. They never got to that point again. And Antonio Brown really was the best wide receiver for like 4 years in a row, and then just said, "Hey, I want to go absolutely loco coco in the brain," and then did a lot of crazy stuff. Man, have you seen the list of things he's done? I'm bringing that up next time on the next episode, because I'm gonna pull up the Antonio Brown timeline. It is like it would go from here all the way down to here. Imagine it is like 80 articles deep.
Yeah. Imagine we had like a projector or like a whiteboard and it's just writing them down.
Bro, and I would literally just have a stick and I'd be pointing at them and be like, right there, that run right there is the thing that marked the decline. Honestly, you want to know what marked the decline of Antonio Brown? Vontez Burfict taking his skull off.
Everybody says that, but there's pictures of him in college where you just look at him and his like their pictures they have for the roster, and he's there, gold in his mouth, because I think he's from Florida or something like that. But no, he's not from Florida.
No, I don't think he's from Florida.
But it's just like his college pictures. You can look at him and tell like something's kind of off with him.
Antonio Brown. No, he is. He's from Miami, Florida.
Like them playing college football.
Yeah.
They love their goals.
Oh yeah, but then
and they just dreads and all just
Yeah.
But they're some of the coolest people ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are. But Antonio Brown, just looking at him, it's just like something isn't right. Something, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but something's not adding up with him.
But you need somebody who isn't right in the head to play football.
Which is true.
100%.
Like, in order for someone to be a linebacker, like, you got to think, like, my high school linebacker, he was crazy.
Yeah.
My high school linebacker did cocaine.
My middle linebacker, that boy
can't
was
say
crazy.
that on here. Yo, we just going to exclude what he said. Keep going.
I don't even know what he said.
Don't I ain't going to repeat it. I'm not repeating it because this
Say it again, please.
Cal, no.
You'll hear it in post.
Yo, but Cal, what was your favorite Chicago's Bear team? Which year was your favorite one?
The 06 Bears that went to the Super Bowl. Devin Hester was on that squad. That was the opening kickoff return for a touchdown. I remember that was like my very first like football game where I like sat down and like watched it beginning to end with my pops. And it was so that's always been my team. And then I'll probably say that like 2017, 2018 Chicago Bears. Yeah. Because that's when like I got like real heavy into Madden, and like that's the only team I would play with, and I was watching like all the games and like locked into the that's when I was like really locked in, felt like we had a chance to win it all. We had Khalil Mack, we had Adrian Amos, we still have Eddie Jackson, Kyle Fuller, Eddie Goldman, Akeem Hicks. We had a mob, man.
Y'all did. Y'all really
That's
did.
unfortunate.
Reminiscing, he's about to cry. Man, I wish we could put you on here somewhere.
Bro, this man was almost to tears talking about his team. You know what? Yeah. But you know what that tells me? This tells me that he's not only a great fan.
We were so close. We had a Super Bowl defense. We literally had a Super Bowl worthy defense. Yeah. Our offense was cool. We had Mitch Trubisky, Tariq Cohen, Jordan Howard just came off the Pro Bowl. We picked up our receivers from the Falcons. We had Allen Robinson. We had Taylor. It doesn't matter. He's gone now.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
It don't matter.
Like, it really blew me, man. And it was all our head coach's fault.
It doesn't matter.
It was the GM.
That's funny.
We got Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
There's no more Matt Nagy. Like we are okay. We have Justin Fields this year. In fact, that's a lie. 2022 was my favorite time watching Chicago Bears football because this is the first time we've had a quarterback. In fact, yeah, that's what I'm going with. This past season was my favorite time watching Chicago Bears football.
Was
Bears football jersey on? I had my Devin Hester jersey on, watching Justin Fields run up the field. Man, it felt amazing.
Hey, our podcast, he had that jersey on. I'm like,
did trading your second round pick for Chase Claypool bring you joy as well?
Oh, that's right. They do have.
They don't
like Chase Claypool because I was a fan of Chase Claypool when he was a Steeler. He's a good receiver. He comes from a great background. He's got a great college pedigree.
Because he came from
Notre Dame.
He's coming from a great system. He's coming from a winning organization. It's not like we're picking up a player from I don't know what team sucks all the time. It's not like we're picking up a player from the Jaguars. You know, I'm not upset. Yeah. And if we trade him, we'll trade him for something decent.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining about it, but I know the player that he can become because he was supposed to be the X for the Steelers. Like, he's supposed to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was drafted there for a reason. So the fact that we got him, we have a star receiver on our team. He's supposed to be Justin Jefferson. He's supposed to be Jamar Chase. He's supposed to be in that group. He's just a couple touchdowns and a few highlights away from him.
He was more than a couple touchdowns, though.
I'm not upset with it.
He's like,
I mean, we could have got something better.
He's like 15 touchdowns away. I'm not sure he got a touchdown this season.
Those 15 touchdowns are to your organization's blame.
Oh, well, to the Steelers' blame. How about when you throw up multiple passes that hit him in the chest, and instead of extending his arms out to catch them, he tries to let the ball come into his chest? You never, ever tell a receiver. I don't think I've ever heard a coach in my life tell a receiver, when you go up for the ball, let it come for you. When you go up for the ball, you're going for the ball. You go towards the ball. You aren't letting it come to your chest.
No, not at all.
And he did that multiple times this season with the Steelers, which is one of the reasons why we traded him. Because he didn't look good. For some reason, he lost his fundamentals. The fundamentals that he learned at Notre Dame. Yeah. Great school, great system. But then I don't know what happened, but the fact that we get the last draft pick of the technical first round, because we're getting number 32, for the Steelers, that looks bright. You have the number 17 pick and now the number 32 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, that now gives you the opportunity to not only draft an offensive lineman, which they desperately need, but another offensive lineman, which they desperately need.
I thought you were going to say wide receiver.
So I'm guessing for you, if you could be the one to pick for the Steelers next draft, you would pick 2 offensive linemen for the first round?
Maybe. I mean, it's what we need the most next to defensive help. I think our wide receiver room looks fine at this point. You got George Pickens, dog. Calvin Austin III, dog. Deontay Johnson, dog. I mean, you've got Pat Freiermuth and Zach Gentry at your tight ends, dog. You got Cameron Hayward at fullback along with Derek Watt, dog. You got KP8, Kenny Pickett, who looked great at times, didn't look so good at other times, but he's learning. Yeah. It's the first year he's here, and he proved that he has the clutch factor. The Steelers are fine. They just need to get an offensive line.
I think Kenny, it's too late now, but I wish Kenny Pickett had like a Phillip Rivers or Aaron Rodgers ahead of him so he could sit for a season or two and learn before being thrown into the fire.
I agree.
Because he's already been thrown into the fire, it'd be terrible to bench him at this point because that's just going to mess with his self-confidence.
But what about Ben Roethlisberger? Say like Ben Roethlisberger was still there. No?
He's not a good leader. He's not a people person, in my opinion.
Ben Roethlisberger? Well, here's the thing. Ben Roethlisberger has a podcast now. I'm not sure if you know that. The Footballin' podcast, or Footballin' because it's Pittsburgh and people have a strange accent. But... his most recent episode, he had Pat Freiermuth, Bob Pompiani, and Andrew McCutcheon for the and they were doing it like a live show. They had a bunch of people out like a brewery, and it's cool to watch. The way that he talks about Kenny Pickett, him and Kenny Pickett text a lot. They both be texting. They both be shooting back and forth. So he's learning from Ben Roethlisberger, and I bet you that he might help him in the offseason. Ben Roethlisberger's still in Pittsburgh. It's not like he left. Yeah. He's still there. He's probably still helping, all those guys. And that, to me, that is that veteran experience. And even if he's not in the building every single day, you know who is? Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin's when I think about the best head coaches in the league, he's top 3 for me, pretty easily.
Oh, that's another topic we have
season
to talk
in, season
about.
out.
That
is another topic, 100%.
Another topic, yeah.
Well, who's the best head coach?
No, it's a head coach. I'm gonna just say it. Sean Payton from New Orleans to Denver. What are y'all predictions about that? How do y'all feel? I mean, he's won Super Bowls, but Denver, the hype was around Russell Wilson. It wasn't good at all. Can Sean Payton change the organization?
Absolutely.
Okay. Why?
Absolutely. Why?
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback. The style of quarterback that he's receiving is the same. In a way. Not caliber.
Right, yeah.
Drew Brees and Russell Wilson is too different.
Yeah. But
around the same size, play the same style, and they have a great tight end. And Noah Fant, I'm a big fan of him. You have a great receiver, an Alabama receiver.
Jerry Jeudy.
And he's ready to get his feet wet. He see all his homies.
Yeah.
Get him busy, and now he's ready. You know what I'm saying? You see Devontae Parker going to the Super Bowl. You see Jalen Waddle going crazy with Tua. Jalen Hurts he's ready to get his feet wet, and you know what I'm saying, make a splash too.
Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. I mean,
exactly. So I think Sean Payton is going to go down there and reinvent who Russell Wilson is.
Well, with Russell Wilson being 30 plus, do you think it's too late, or do you think he can still adapt?
Because he's one of those work ethic kind of guys. I know he's going to sleep in the gym. You know he's going to go over and beyond. It's Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He's going to be extra, but he's going to...
Yeah.
I'm not a big Russell Wilson fan, but I have high hopes. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well,
I'm not a fan for real.
Cal, I wish you were here with us so you could see John's face when you said the work ethic and stuff. Let me go ahead and flip it. Let me see if you can see him.
Just he's gonna be in the airplane like this.
Bro, you want to know what Russell Wilson's gonna be doing in the airplane in this next season? Cause he's mid. He's kind of semi-washed. Like he's not. Look, he's not washed, right? He's not. It's not hook, line, sinker. This man's not, done for. But the way he played last year, if you were to show someone in 2013 Russell Wilson 2022 highlights, they might cry.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you're gonna say.
He said throw up. Kel said throw up.
First of all, he's on the Broncos, so it would put every Seahawks fan on alert immediately.
Oh, yes, for sure.
And then you see him throwing ducks. I mean, not even the quality the quality of passes from Russell Wilson this year alone dropped so significantly.
Yeah.
Now, that might be because of the system, right? You look at the Seahawks. Geno Smith balled. He looked great.
Oh, yeah.
And outplayed Russell Wilson. And I think that might just be because of coaching and the system that they have. Pete Carroll is a phenomenal head coach.
Yeah.
And now you're putting the caliber of coach like Sean Payton into this system, I think it looks great. I think it looks great for the Broncos, and immediately he's already made differences. Did you hear what he said about Russell Wilson? He said Russell Wilson isn't going to be able to have all of his like team in the locker room all the time. He's not, or like his people. Like Russell Wilson has his own people.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to have them in the locker room anymore.
That's good.
Which is perfect. Yeah. Distractions. Can you tell me what the first thing in your head before the season started when you heard him say, Broncos country, let's ride? What was the first thing that went through your head?
Sierra told him to say that to make him look good.
You want to know what went through my head?
What?
Cringe. It was cringe before it even started. It was an omen. The moment he did that, done for. It was over. There was no saving the season at that point. The moment those words left his lips in that photo shoot, done for. Yeah. It was done for from the start. He sealed the envelope right there. But Sean Payton is ripping open that envelope, taking Russell Wilson out, smacking him across the face a couple times, saying, "Wake up. You're a good quarterback, aren't you?" Yeah. And then probably reforming the team and letting them actually, put up a fight.
Well, I mean, Sean Payton has seen Russell Wilson play because, the memorable run from Marshawn Lynch, Pete Carroll and Sean Payton, they...
Beastquake.
Yeah, coached against each other.
Exactly.
Sean Payton has seen what Russell Wilson can do. So I'm excited to see what the Broncos will do next season.
Agreed. I think that it's all up from here for them. I think that at this point, something would have to go so catastrophically wrong for them to do worse than they did this year. I think that. Do I think that they're going to be immediately a playoff team? No. I don't know. I think they might be a fringe team. Like they might be 8-8, 9-8.
So a wild card.
Yeah, like a wild card spot, like kind of like in the hunt ish. But they're not like number 1 seed, number 2 seed.
They're not. Yeah, like 11-4.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
they're not putting up 11-4 numbers. They're putting up like 9-8 numbers.
Basically, like rebuilding season numbers.
Exactly. This is my God, did you get one hell of a lottery pick with that head coach?
Yeah.
Sean Payton's amazing. He does have a blemish on his coaching repertoire with the headhunting and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's if I honestly
that was the culture then.
That was the culture though. It was the culture.
What year was that? What year was that?
That was the year they won the Super Bowl.
That about 2000.
It was same year as Katrina. It was like
Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, Saints Super Bowls, 2010. Yeah, Katrina was 2010.
2010. Oh, okay, all right. I thought it was earlier. I thought.
That's what I thought too, but no, that was in 2010. Well, 2009. So this was the year after. This was the year after the Steelers won in 2009. So it was New Orleans, and I know the year after this, it's Green Bay. Because they won, they beat the Steelers with Rashard Mendenhall and all them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Broncos are not only a better team with Sean Payton, but I think that they're a better organization, and I think that they will impress. And I at this point, good for them. Congrats, Broncos.
Yeah, but we're going to get into our last topic before we end the podcast. Normally, what we do, John, me and Kel, games will make our predictions basically.
All right.
And something else we do is we'll look at like some of the games, but they're way overdue, and break down and just go over our picks that we had and just look at the statistics and stuff like that, the stats. But the big game that's coming up, Super Bowl. Who do you have on it?
Who do I have?
Yep. Who do you have?
All right. Well, for the team that I think is going to win on Sunday, the 12th of February, 2023,
Are you sticking with your Pennsylvania brethren, or are you gonna go? You going?
I have never once in my life,
Yeah.
ever, stuck with my quote-unquote Pennsylvania brethren.
I'll just
Because
say it.
I hate to
I'll
break
just
it
say
to you. I hate to break it to you. The caliber of person
Mm-hmm.
when you look at Philly versus Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
that is like telling me, hey, go up to. Okay, imagine this. Imagine
Yeah.
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you ask me, hey, go talk to that person from Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
I kept like there's like a 30-foot radius around that guy that I am now making sure that I'm not going in there. Because the pure radiation that comes off of people from Philly, just, it ruins you.
Right.
And I mean, I remember I've been to Philly. I've driven past Philly. Every single time I'm there, I feel like I need to scrub like stuff off of me. So yeah, no, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs here. I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going to say that they're going to probably absolutely not destroy them. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah,
Honestly, I see this going down to fourth quarter. I see a Mahomes last minute drive, walk off touchdown, Super Bowl. Travis Kelce gets that. I'm going to go with 35 to 35-32. 35-32.
Oh wow. Hey, Kale, he is actually throwing out points. Like he just throwing out. Wow. We never done that. We just say the team. But who you got, Kale? Who you got?
Back in the day,
Oh,
Back
in the day.
Back in the
they
day.
would say,
Yeah.
you never bet against the house.
Right.
And when it
Understood.
referred to football, that name was Tom Brady. You never bet against Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today the house is Pat Mahomes. You don't bet against Pat Mahomes.
So we're saying. So are we saying
We're going with
there's
the
a
Chiefs.
shift? Are you
We are
saying?
doubling down on the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes is the new Tom Brady. He is the man to beat.
Whoa.
He could do it with Tyreek Hill. He could do it without Tyreek Hill. You can't name a better quarterback in the league other than Pat Mahomes. So I will never bet against the best quarterback in the league.
To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. That's actually a great point that he made because that was a major concern going into the season. How can the Chiefs adapt without their speed wide receiver?
Without Tyreek Hill, not only did they pass with flying colors. They showed that they didn't need him. They not only didn't need him, but they replaced him. I mean, not like an exact replacement, but they still replaced him.
Yeah.
And even better yet than that, they made it to the Super Bowl. You know who didn't make it to the Super Bowl?
Tyreek
The
Hill.
Miami Dolphins and Tyreek Hill.
So what I'm getting is from both of y'all. I'm guessing y'all believe that Tyreek Hill is sitting at home punching the air, or kind of looks like Michael Jordan when he. What's that meme?
No.
That-
Absolutely not. He got paid, and he had a great season.
Yeah.
You can't control Tua's injuries.
Right. Yeah. No.
You know, you can't do anything. If anything, Aaron Rodgers needs to go to the Dolphins.
That's
How
crazy.
would that work? How would that
Where does
work?
Tua? But that's the thing. Where does Tua go?
Yeah.
Tua takes one more hit, he's out the league.
That's actually true. That's high key true. That man, if that man takes another concussion, I mean, he'll immediately have
Rodgers wouldn't mind
CTE.
sitting on the bench and waiting for that boy to get hit. No disrespect.
I'm surprised that nobody actually pulled him away this season, especially after that hit against the Bengals. Like that's scary in itself.
I'm surprised DeMar Hamlin's fucking playing in the Super Bowl.
Whoa,
What?
That boy just
DeMar Hamlin's with the
I heard
Bills.
something about him getting traded to the Bills. I mean, getting traded to the Eagles.
DeMar Hamlin's not getting traded. DeMar Hamlin's getting traded to the Eagles.
No.
Oh, what?
I saw some nonsense about him getting traded to the Eagles, and now he about to play in the Super Bowl. And I was like, he shouldn't be playing.
Whoa!
Wait, hold on.
I was about to say
I'm doing
breaking news.
Hold on, I'm doing some.
I could be incorrect, but I saw something like that today.
Let's see
That's
something.
wild. If he goes to the Eagles, that's absolutely wild.
Let's see, DeMar Hamlin.
DeMar Hamlin to the Eagles after that. To be honest with you, I believe after that, Damar Hamlin should probably hang up his cleats. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I honestly bring him into the coaching staff. Make him a make him a coach. But I at this point, honestly, I don't think it's. I think it's not only not safe for him to be playing. I think it's a detriment to his health. And at this point, I think 100%. Bring him into your organization, give him a spot, pay him well because goddamn that man deserves it, and let him be. At this point, I think that Damar Hamlin's football career is over. It's the same, and it's honestly, damn, I forgot about this. Remember how all the way back at the beginning of the podcast we were talking about people whose careers we'd change?
Yeah.
Ryan Shazier.
Oh,
literally lost his ability to walk. Doctor said he'd have 10% chance to walk again, and then he's walking and running.
Yeah,
he's someone I would change, but it's the same exact. It's almost a different situation, a different injury, but it's the same severity.
Exactly,
it's the same severity as Ryan Shazier's. And
I mean, from all the reports, they've all said that his heart stopped.
It was cardiac arrest. It wasn't a heart attack. It was cardiac arrest. Yeah. His heart was not beating. He was not breathing.
Yeah, and so if say like a second less for the EMS to get out there to try to bring him back, he probably wouldn't be here right now. To be honest with you.
Yep.
So he should definitely hang up his cleats. I know it's difficult, especially you've played for such a long time, and you achieved your dream. But at the same time, like, you made it, just step back. Like you said, be a coach. I mean, he could easily be a positions coach.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And you're still with your team. You're still with your brothers. You're still there. You're just there in a different capacity. It's not any more or less important than what you were doing before.
Exactly.
And, I mean, honestly, he was he was very much special teams player on the Bills. I think specifically this year. But man, like, just give him something. Like one thing that I hate about the league is that the league doesn't like to give players its flowers unless like they're like a Tom Brady type. Like they don't like to give them their flowers or give them coaching positions. But please. I mean, I don't even know why I'm saying please because I know the Bills will do it because honestly, the Bills as an organization have kind of like gained a lot of respect. I mean, over the last like 5 years ish is like for me has gained a lot of respect. So I have no doubt that they'll do it, but give that man a job, please. That man has suffered through enough stuff at this point. He should 100% be a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, well, real quick, Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs as well.
Straight across the board.
And what's your other score prediction? I think it's going to be 42-35 Chiefs.
It's definitely going to be a shootout because the Chiefs, that's what they really rely on. It's just, like you've been saying, outscoring pretty much on Kel. Just pretty much outscoring their opponents.
Ain't no defense.
Not really. There's not really any notable players on that defensive side. Offense, yes, a whole lot of them. But score-wise, shoot. I'm going to say 21-10.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm going to say 21-10. Possibly. So
we got 42-35, 35-32, and 21-10. I mean, all those scores are very highly possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but who knows? But I really hope the Chiefs get it. I really do. I mean, I like Jalen Hurts. And what's that running back name? Boston Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's a good back.
Yeah, but
I just don't want to see Philly fans win another Super Bowl. I saw what they did that last Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, here's the thing.
Out there in the Philly streets when they won.
It doesn't matter if they win or lose; they're gonna riot. So if they
sure.
lose, here's the thing: if they lose, it'll be a violent riot. If they win, it'll be a violent riot. It doesn't matter.
Yo, that's gonna be absolute. That's gonna be absolute madness. They lose. You know how many possible violent things will happen that night.
Bro, I just want you to realize that it's going to look like Vancouver after the Canucks lost the Stanley Cup final. Ooh. I'm not sure if you've seen the pictures. People were tipping over cop cars and burning stuff. Like, yeah, it was that type. Well, first of all, because they love hockey up there, like that's their sport.
Yeah,
but man, let me tell you, they destroyed the city of Vancouver, and let me tell you, I believe that Philly might be able to top them.
I mean, it's
they're gonna grease the poles again. They're gonna grease the poles. I love that.
Yeah, but that'll do it for our podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all tune in next week. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Adios.
Yeah. All right.
Right on. Let's go stop that recording real quick.
Did I have to record on Kel too or no?
No, because we have it on the audio here.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I'm glad you wasn't doing that on the podcast, Kel.